Hello everyone, welcome to Lukmaan IAS. This is Takkar Rapid series. In this particular lecture series, we are discussing 10 MCQs on the daily basis which are based on current affairs. So this is class 30 and the questions that we have framed are on the basis of news from 10th January 2022, that is yesterday's. Why we are doing this? Because many students are reading the current affairs at night also, in the evening also, and that's why they may not be able to solve these MCQs on that day. So that's why one day delay is fine, I guess, and that's why there will be evaluation of all your knowledge also. On the next day there will be revision of your knowledge also. Also the explanation of all these 10 MCQs, that file is attached in the description of this video, so you can see that later on. Okay, so let us start with this session. First MCQ, which one of the following in Indian polity is an essential character of Indian federalism? Okay, so let's identify that essential character. The fundamental rights are enforced by the court of law. The judiciary is independent to safeguard the constitution and its provision. Dual government policy with strict separation of power. Union government has elected representatives from the constituent units. Now you can see that the federation, ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे क्या बोला है, essential characteristics of Indian federalism. So there are some characteristics in Indian constitution, like for example division of power. In 7th schedule of Indian constitution there are 3 lists which talks about division of power: state list, union list and concurrent list. Other example is independent judiciary. Independent judiciary ensures the implementation of we can say the constitutional provisions, especially related to, we can say, federal aspect. So when there is independent judiciary, the federal aspects are ensured, maintained. So among all these 4 statements, you can see that the second statement, judiciary is independent to safeguard the constitution, that is essentially the characteristics of Indian federalism. The other are not directly related to Indian federalism. ठीक है, essential characteristic जो है वो B वाला है. So that should be the answer. So philosophy of the Indian constitution, there has been almost every year question from this topic. So philosophy of Indian constitution, it is one chapter in 11th standard NCERT, Constitution at Work, last chapter. And along with that, M. Laxmikant is also having in initial some of the chapters philosophy of preamble and all. ठीक है, तो वहाँ पे भी आपको बहुत सारी चीज़ें कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ इम्पोर्टेंट फीचर्स ऑफ इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, वहाँ पे भी आपको ये मिल जाएगा. फाइन, ओके. सेकंड क्वेश्चन, consider the following statements about appointment of high court judges. Now high court judges appointment, Supreme Court judges appointment, it is continuously in news. We are frequently trying to solve these questions in a different we can say manner, different dimensions are being covered. So here are 2 statements related to high court judge appointments. They are different from the earlier questions. Okay. Look at the first statement. Constitution of India provides for appointment of high court judges by a respective state governor. The landmark 3rd judges case establishes the collegium system for consultation on appointing of high court judges. Now we know that the judges are appointed to the higher judiciary by the president. ठीक है. So be it the judge of Supreme Court, be it judge of high courts, so they are appointed by the president and not governor. ठीक है, तो ये clear है. First statement is incorrect. The landmark 3rd judges case. Now when we talk about the evolution of collegium system, the 3 judges cases are very famous. 3 judges cases. In the first judges case, basically the appointment or supremacy of the executive was upheld. Supremacy of the executive in the appointment procedure was upheld in the first judge case, but this was reverted in the second judge case in 1993, and this 1993 second judge case led to formation of collegium of 2 senior most judge. So the CJI is supposed to consult the collegium of 2 senior most judge and that opinion is forwarded to executive, that is president, and there is compulsion on the executive to appoint that person. ठीक है, so here the judicial supremacy was upheld, and this is how the collegium, then in third judge's case, basically the collegium was expanded, the consultation process was made broader. Here the four judges, the four senior most judges of the Supreme Court, they now form the collegium, and the CJI along with those four judges takes the decision. And if suppose out of those four judges, any two judges gives the adverse opinion on that particular judge, or simply that particular person to be appointed, then the Chief Justice of India is not supposed to forward that name for appointment. This is how the evolution of collegium system happened. So third judge's case, this is incorrect, no? So second judge's case is the correct here. So second statement is also incorrect. Neither one nor two should be the answer here. Good? Okay, fine. Let's move on. See here, like the appointment aspect and the, we can say, proportion of people or judges from the forward categories or caste or the backward categories. That's what it was in news. So that's why we have asked this question. Consider the following statement. We have to find the identify the correct statement. Now, why NRI, OCI, this particular is in news? Because of Pravasi Bharatiya Divas is being celebrated. Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. It is celebrated between 7th to 9th of January to mark the arrival of Gandhiji from South Africa. Gandhiji from South Africa. Okay, so we can say that this is how the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas is celebrated, and this year the presidents of Suriname country and Guyana, ठीक है, ये दो कंट्रीज जो है कहाँ की है, साउथ अमेरिका के, उनके प्रेसिडेंट्स को एज अ चीफ गेस्ट बुलाया गया था. प्रवासी भारतीय दिवस. Remember this basic information. Now talking about the Indian diaspora living outside India and the categories of the citizens according to the laws and rules in India. Let's see these statements. Non-resident Indians are Indians who are residents of the foreign countries. That is of course true. Non-resident they are talking, so first statement is correct. Overseas citizens of India is a person who at any time held an Indian passport and is a national, we can say national of Pakistan and Afghanistan and Bangladesh. ठीक है, तो ये second statement है. India is the largest immigrant population, has the largest immigrant population of the world. अब यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा trick है. Okay, so second statement is talking about overseas citizens of India, but the description is not of overseas citizens of India. The description is of PIOs, persons of Indian origin. Now earlier there were two categories when we talk about Indian citizenship and those who are NRIs. Okay, तो NRIs में उन्होंने क्या किया था, persons of Indian origin and overseas citizens of India, ये दो categories थी, बाद में ये दोनों को merge किया गया है. This description is of PIOs and not overseas citizens of India. So that's why it is incorrect statement. Now second, India has the largest immigrant population in the world. Now this tricky word, immigrant, जब I हम बोलते हैं, when it is I, basically it is in migration. यानी कि the people from outside are coming inside the country. So is this the case for India? No. Largely the people of India, they are going out in search of better lifestyle, better education, better employment opportunities, we can say that, and better standard of life, we can say the professional opportunities. So we can say that they are exiting the country. So when we say E, small e, we call it as immigration. That is leaving the country. ठीक है, तो exit, ये आप trick याद रखिए. This is the trick to remember. In and exit, in immigration. So those coming into the country. So we do not have largest immigrant population in the world. Rather, we have largest population of immigrants, that is leaving the country. ठीक है, तो you should remember this aspect. Okay, so that's why the third statement is also incorrect. So answer here, we have to identify the correct statement. Only one. A is the correct answer. Fine? Okay, let's move on. Indians abroad history spread remittances. A very good article on Indian Express with this heading. Although it is premium article, but if you have subscription, you can read this. Good data related to Indian diaspora. Latest data चाहिए हमें Indian diaspora. Almost after 2 to 3 years, UPSC repeats question on Indian diaspora in IR section GS2 paper, international relations. Okay, so this is very important part of our syllabus. Remember this. Fine. Okay, which of the following statements about election process in India is incorrect? So we have to find the incorrect statement about election process in India. In India, right to vote for legal citizens is a fundamental right. पहले ही स्टेटमेंट में हमें पता चल गया है कि दिस इज इनकरेक्ट. वी डोंट हैव राइट टू वोट एज फंडामेंटल राइट. राइट टू वोट इज, वी कैन से दैट इज अ लीगल राइट. We have legal right. Simply you should know that Article 326 talks about universal adult franchise. It is not talking about right to vote also. It is talking about universal adult franchise, that those who are above certain age, universally, irrespective of gender, caste, religion, region, place of, or we can say origin or birth. So if they are the citizens, they have this, we can say, they can be eligible to vote above that age. हमारे यहाँ पे इंडिया में कितना है? That is 18 years and above. Okay, so it is legal right, not a fundamental right. It is incorrect statement. Here itself we will get the answer. A is the answer. Other three statements are correct here. Representation of People's Act 1951 ensures that every person who is in electoral roll is that of that constituency is entitled to vote. So this is why we are talking about right to vote is part of, we can say, under this RPA Act 1951, which is again our syllabus topic in mains GS2 paper. A person cannot vote in more than one constituency. That is true. अगर ये ऐसा होगा तो एक पर्सन का वोट 2 बार काउंट होगा, ठीक है. और 2 बार हम बोलते हैं कि one person one vote. This is, we talk about the principles of democracy. Yes, or republic. Yes, minimum legal age of voting and contesting panchayat elections in India are not same, or is not same. ठीक है, तो minimum legal age for voting in India is 18 years. And contesting panchayat elections, the minimum age is 21 years. For MP and MLA, what is that age? 25 years. For becoming MP of, we can say, Rajya Sabha, it is 30 years. ठीक है, it is 30 years. So remember this additional knowledge you can have. A is the correct answer here. ठीक है, तो next, consider the following statement and a very conceptual question regarding rocket launching, space science. We have to identify the correct statements. Rocket launching sites are generally established near the equator as the earth moves faster near the equator. Placing launching site near the equator has economic benefits. Let's try to understand this concept. ठीक है, मैं आपको यहाँ पर ग्लोब के साथ एक्सप्लेन करके दिखा. Okay, let's say this is the earth. Okay, now this is the equator, black line, you can say this is the pole. Now generally most of the launching sites, satellite launching, rocket launching sites, they are located near the equator. Why? Because the speed that earth is revolving, that speed is very high near the equator, and that goes on decreasing and becomes zero at pole. Remember this. So this speed provides the momentum for rocket launching, for first aspect. That's why the first statement is correct here. Second, placing the launching site near the equator has economic benefits. अब यही एक economic benefit है ना. When we are talking that there is high speed, that means there is initial thrust provided by the earth's rotation aspect itself. Okay, and that's why less fuel is required for launching purpose. Now one more aspect related to this. Now you have understood both statements are correct here. One more aspect is that generally launching sites are located along the eastern coast of the continents. ठीक है, eastern coast पे होता है. Why? let's understand the best example Sriharikota we have in India, इसरो का लॉन्चिंग सेंटर है, या फिर रॉकेट लॉन्चिंग सेंटर जो ओडिशा का जो है, ठीक है, या फिर इफ यू टॉक अबाउट नासा गल्फ ऑफ फ्लोरिडा, अगेन इट इज ईस्टर्न कोस्ट. I am giving you example. Let's understand the concept behind this. Now we know that Earth rotates from west to east like this. ठीक है, ये west है समझो और ये east है, तो इस तरीके से. Now when it is rotating from west to east and suppose the launching center is on the eastern coast, simply we should understand that it provides the initial thrust in the same direction. Means launching is happening in the same direction of we can say rotation of the earth. थोड़ा फ्यूल कम लगेगा, इनिशियल थ्रस्ट मिल जाएगा. अगर ये अपोजिट डायरेक्शन में करेगा तो क्या होगा, देयर विल बी अ लिटिल मोर फ्यूल इज रिक्वायर्ड, बिकॉज थोड़ा सा हम बोल सकते हैं कि अपोजिट डायरेक्शन में हो रहा है रोटेशन. सेकंड इंपॉर्टेंट रीजन, so whenever it is located on the eastern coast of India and when there is thrust is provided, generally if suppose the mission fails, so if the rocket fails or satellite mission fails, it falls into the ocean instead of falling on the habited region of interiors of the continents. ठीक है, क्योंकि ये लॉन्च जब होता है ना, ये रोटेट हो रहा है ना, तो इसी तरीके से इसी डायरेक्शन में लॉन्च होता है, इस तरीके से. ओके, सो दैट्स व्हाई अगर ये लॉन्च होते वक्त अगर फेल करता है तो ये ओशन में गिरेगा रादर दैन ऑन द कॉन्टिनेंट या फिर जहाँ पे हैबिटेशंस है. दिस इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द रीजन. रिमेंबर दिस इज वेरी बेसिक थिंग एंड कॉन्सेप्चुअल एस्पेक्ट रिलेटेड टू स्पेस साइंस. ओके, सो बोथ स्टेटमेंट्स आर करेक्ट. सी इज द करेक्ट आंसर हियर. ओके, मूविंग ऑन. ओके, वर्जिन ऑर्बिट रिपोर्ट्स एनोमली इन द सैटेलाइट लॉन्च, तो इसीलिए ये न्यूज़ में है. वर्जिन is private company, तो उनका लॉन्च चल रहा था. Now look at the description of a particular place. Yes, this place in India is both national park as well as Ramsar site. Very good. Then it is second largest mangrove ecosystem in India. I have got the key point here, second largest mangroves. Then proximity to the Bay of Bengal makes the soil of the area enriched with the salts. So proximity to the Bay of Bengal, it is saying. Then the vegetation and species of national park is comprised of those which are mainly found in tropical and subtropical intertidal regions like turtles, saltwater crocodile. Again it is very keyword, important keyword. Now which of the following places is being described? Okay, let's identify them. Now all of these are, you can see along the eastern coast, Chilika Lake, Bhitarkanika, Kolleru. Or now when we say intertidal, so simply you can eliminate Kolleru, which is freshwater lake, eliminate हो गया. Thereafter we are talking it as a national park as well as Ramsar site. Now Sundarban and Bhitarkanika, इसमें थोड़ा सा confusion हो सकता है आपको. Now when we are talking about saltwater crocodile, I will directly go to Bhitarkanika, Odisha. Okay, so saltwater crocodiles are present in a Bhitarkanika National Park. It is very unique and the second largest. No, we can eliminate simply Sundarban, they are the largest. Eliminate this. Second largest mangrove system in India. So it is Bhitarkanika. Remember this. Chilika Lake is not having that much large amount of mangrove forest. इस तरीके से हमें keywords identify करना है. Descriptive type of question, we have to identify the key information, keywords from the description and try to eliminate the option and get the correct answer here. So what is the correct answer here? Bhitarkanika National Park or Wildlife Sanctuary. Additional information is located along the eastern coast in the state of Odisha, and along with that there is we can say Gahir Mata Wildlife Sanctuary there. Gahir Mata coast is very famous for hatching, or we can say nesting site for olive ridley turtles. This phenomenon, annual phenomenon, is also called as we can say Aribadas, one of the important nesting sites of olive ridley turtles. Gahir Mata, Bhitarkanika. Fine? Okay. Moving on. Okay, bird count हुआ था national park भितरकनिका में, that's why it is in news. With reference to Bureau of Indian Standard, consider the following statement. It was in news, that's why the basic question on institute. Last 2-3 years UPC is asking minimum one question on the national level important institutes. They can be statutorily established organization, body, or it can be constitutional body or simply the executively created body. Institutions and bodies के ऊपर question आ रहा है. Okay, so Bureau of Indian Standard Act 2016 establishes BIS as National Standards Body of India. This is correct statement. We have to identify the correct statement. You should be very clear that the BIS Act of 1986 establishes BIS as a statutory body. But this particular act, which replaces the earlier one, is establishing BIS as National Standards Body of India. Okay, so that's why this statement. Self-declaration of conformity of the standards is not allowed under BIS Act 2016. This is incorrect. Simply you should understand that the self-declaration conformity to the standards is also allowed along with the authority-led, we can say that, checking or monitoring of the standards. So second statement is incorrect here. Under the new standard published in 2022, the digital television receivers will have inbuilt satellite tuners. This is correct here. This was in news recently. Okay, so digitally inbuilt satellite tuners will be there for DD channels and Akashvani. We can say that the channels by Prasar Bharati. गवर्नमेंट के जो हम बोल सकते हैं कि जो प्लेटफॉर्म्स है, दे विल बी डायरेक्टली एक्सेसिबल ऑन द टीवी चैनल्स और टीवी वंस द एंटेना, सिंपली द एंटेना इज टू बी एस्टेब्लिश, डायरेक्ट होगा, उसके लिए सेट ऑफ बॉक्स या किसी भी चीज़ की ज़रूरत नहीं होगी. दिस इज द न्यू एडिशन, वी कैन से दैट. सो 1 and 3 इज द करेक्ट आंसर हियर, बी. ओके, मूविंग ऑन. See here, this was in news, that's why we have asked this question. Which of the following statements does not come under the discretionary powers of the governor? Now governor, Tamil Nadu state governor aspect is continuously is in news. Basics of the governor, surely we can expect question in prelims examination. Now discretionary powers of governor, one of the contended topic that is in news, that's why we are expecting question from this area. Okay, so does not come under, it is saying. Okay, let's see. He can use the discretionary power to impose president rule. ठीक है, president rule, article number 356. Okay, article 356 talks about the president rule, and in that the governor is having surely the discretionary power. The governor is not supposed to act according to the aid and advice of council of ministers headed by chief minister in this case. So we can say that this is correct here, or simply it is a discretionary power, part of discretionary powers. He can use discretionary power to withhold the assent to the bill and send to the president approval. Of course, it is also discretionary power. Here again the advice of chief minister or council of ministers is not required. He can use discretionary power to choose candidate for chief minister when no party gets clear majority. This is also true. The same power is provided to president also. Okay, now he can use discretionary power to constitute finance commission of the state. This is not correct. This is not correct. This is not the discretionary power. Rather, when we talk about the finance commission of state, which is responsible for recommending devolution of the finances to the panchayati raj institutions and municipalities. ठीक है, जो finance commission of the state होता है, ठीक है, so that is established after the recommendation by the council of minister headed by chief minister. ठीक है, so D is the correct answer here. Okay. Now consider the following regions and which of the above host mangrove forest. ठीक है, mangroves continuously in news. 75 wetlands have been declared in India as international importance or Ramsar site. ठीक है, तो ये बार बार न्यूज में है. Let's identify them. Pichavaram mangroves in Tamil Nadu, it is the mangroves. Vemnad in Kerala, again backwaters, it is, we can say that, mangroves forest. Bhitarkanika, just now we talked about in Odisha, it is mangrove forest. Rayalaseema is the region in Andhra Pradesh. It is region in Andhra Pradesh, but it is inland region, no? Inland region. It is not we can say coastal area. So it is not having mangrove forest. Rayalaseema region is basically part of rain shadow region of Western Ghats. रेन शैडो रीजन, ठीक है. तो ड्रॉट प्रोन रीजन होता है रायलसीमा का. इट इज वन ऑफ द अंडर डेवलप्ड रीजन ऑफ आंध्र प्रदेश, वी कैन से कंपैरेटिव टू कोस्टल आंध्रा. ओके, सो रायलसीमा नहीं है. 1 to 4 इज द करेक्ट आंसर हियर. 1 to 4 ओनली ए इज द करेक्ट आंसर. ओके, फाइन. यस, with reference to Election Commission of India, consider the following statements. We have to identify the correct statement. Now basics is asked here. In case of differences among the members of ECI, Election Commission of India, the matter is decided by Chief Election Commissioner. This is not correct. The matter is decided by majority. Let's say at present there is CEC and 2 ECs. If suppose there is difference of opinion, then a matter is decided by majority and not by Chief Election Commissioner. Okay, it is decided by majority. तो यहाँ पे क्या है, 2:1 majority होनी चाहिए decision में. It has the advisory jurisdiction in the matter of disqualification of the members of parliament and state legislature. Okay, yes, it is having the advisory jurisdiction under which article? Article 103. Article 103 talks about if suppose there is election dispute of MP or MLA, then this election dispute is decided and it goes to the president. ठीक है. This president is then seek opinion of Election Commission of India. Okay, and the opinion given by this is to be followed by the president. So president shall act according to the opinion given by Election Commission of India in this case. This is how you should know the basics here related to disqualification of members post election. ठीक है, इलेक्शन के बाद में, इलेक्शन डिस्प्यूट से रिलेटेड. सो करेक्ट इज 2 ओनली इज द करेक्ट आंसर हियर. ओके, फाइन. Okay, so these are the 10 MCQs for today. Again, I am repeating, the explanation is there in the description. The file is attached in the description. You can download that and see the explanation also and do the revision part also. If you have any doubt in these 10 MCQs and if you are finding any discrepancy, you can check your knowledge. You can ask question in the comment box. And in the next coming session, I will try to have conversation on those issues or let's say problems that you are facing. Okay, fine. Let us stop then. Thank you.
The first step towards achieving your dreams is having the right coach. Get the best education with Lukmaan IAS and make your UPSC dreams come true. Download the app now.